So let's see. Hi to Vitali and Manisco and Julia and Valentine and Marco and MKC if he's still with us. So next streams will be on Tuesday the 24th, Thursday the 26th and Friday the 27th. Okay, hi Oksana, lovely to see you. Okay, so let's get down to it. The shortcut to close bonds, asking meaningful questions. So, the right questions, let me put this here. The right questions can help us connect with strangers and create closer parents and children. So the right questions can help us connect with strangers and create closer parents and children. So what are we going to put in these gaps then? White Stripes, lovely to see you, mate. Bond with, create a closer bond with parents and children. That looks pretty good, Julia. Closer links to. That looks good as well, Vitali. Bonds between, says Oksana. Okay, so any second now I'm going to give the answer. Bonds with, says Maurits. Welcome, Maurits. So I know who's going to get the ice cream with this one. Definitely. Manisco says ties with. Okay, so you ready? Here we go now. And bonds between. Queefingly says Ronan. Okay, so well done Oksana, you got both of those. And let's continue. In 2024, bonds between. In 2024, a team of psychologists at the University of Amsterdam in the Netherlands tested a deceptively idea. Could being asked 14 specially questions by their parents help children feel more loved? Okay, first one collocates quite nicely. Second one, maybe a fraction more difficult, but neither of these are difficult. So, in 2024, simple idea, simple from Maurits and Valentine. Deceptively novel, says White Stripes. Specially suggested questions. Straightforward, says Vitali. Easy idea, says Oksana. Simple, simple, yes. Random for the second, no, Julia. Chosen, says Valentine. Specially curated, says Valentine. I like curated. Selected, says Valentine. An obvious, deceptively obvious idea. Deceptively straightforward idea. Hi, Ajit, that's Sid. Yeah, you're Sid, yes? Design, specially designed questions. That looks pretty good. Simple and curated. So it looks like the first one is simple. The second one not quite so simple. So specially designed. I like Oksana's designed is definitely the best answer so far. Okay, so here we go then. Designed. And you do realise, Oksana, I think you've got 4 in a row now. Or maybe you didn't get the simple, I'm not sure. So deceptively simple is a very common collocation. Hi there, Patricia, lovely to see you. Okay, so specially designed. deceptively simple, specially designed. The experiment was on some evidenced psychological insights. Not simple, then 3 out of 4, Oksana. That's pretty good though. The experiment was done, yes, on, done on, conducted on, was conducted on, based on. I like based on much better, Maurits. Built on, says Valentine. Welcoming idea, specially formulated. Good, Patricia, you're getting into it now. Was performed on, self-evidenced, conducted on, based on, based. It fits better, doesn't it, Oksana? Was carried on, was carried out on, self-evidenced. You see, the phrase you're all thinking about is self-evident, meaning obvious. Was performed on. Think about evidence as in the evidence in a trial. Strong evidence, that's very good, Sid. Strong is the best word so far, Sid. On some survey evidenced. So, strong evidence is the best so far by Sid. Strong evidenced. A simpler word than strong, but strong is the idea. Okay, I'm going to bring it out any second now. You should get this one. Okay, so it was based on hard evidence. That's good. Robust evidence. You're nearly there. I don't think this is quite a collocation, however. Okay. Well evidenced. Data evidence. That's very good, Oksana. Some well evidenced psychological insight. Some solid evidence. Yeah, the experiment was based on some tight evidence, well evidenced psychological insights. But look at high daily tech, highly evidenced, well evidenced. Yeah, there's a lot of good evidence that shows that it's true. Thank you, Upcycle. That is so kind of you. Thank you, Upcycle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Upcycle. Again, what can I say? It's very generous. As the researchers out in their paper, feeling loved by their parents is known to be for children's health and well-being. As they found out, is the hyphen unnecessary of its no collocation? Well evidenced, but notice it's an adjective, Maurits, and therefore the hyphen is necessary. As researchers found out, thank you, Upcycle. Yes, thank you, Upcycle. It's really kind of you. Make out in their paper. To be vital for. Spell out. That's a good word as well. Thank you, Upcycle. Beneficial is a good word, Valentine. Put out in their paper. Carried out, says Daily Tech. Lay out is good, is quite good. Beneficial for children, says Oksana. That beneficial I like. Found out, says Vandana. Hi, Vandana. Pointed out, that's good, Manisco. Is crucial for. That looks very good to me again, Oksana. Beneficial for. Yeah, when it's an adjective, the hyphen is necessary. layout is essential form. So here we go. As they pointed out, says Sid. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. As researchers pointed out, is critical for children's health and well-being. So, ice creams for pointed out. Oksana was pretty close with crucial for. So, as researchers pointed out in their paper, feeling loved by parents is known to be critical for children's health and well-being. Paramount for. Very good, Patricia. I like the paramount for. Finding ways to that feeling could potentially benefit families in many ways. Finding ways to that feeling could potentially to foster. Very good, Vitali. Finding ways to foster that feeling. Foster I really like. To proceed. Not quite daily tech. Replicate. Replicate. I think you mean white stripe. To spark that feeling. Eplicate. Express that feeling. Could, to some extent, potentially, to strengthen. That's a good word from Valentine. To replicate. You finally got it, White Stripes. Well done. Could be potentially beneficial. Be beneficial, Julia. Could bring potentially benefit. Could indeed potentially benefit. Yeah, could potentially benefit. That's the problem. Your keyboard had epilepsy. To nurture. Nurture's a good word, Vandana. To strengthen. The second sentence is finished. Could bring potentially. Could bring potentially benefit. Okay, so. Could bring. Let's see this then. Could therefore. I knew that was going to happen. Bring is no good, is it? Could therefore potentially benefit. So, ice cream for Vitali for nurture. Definitely. Well done, Vitali. Could foster. Foster. To indeed. No. So, no, that nurture was actually Vandana, wasn't it? Well done, Vandana. So, ice cream for Vandana for nurture. Well done, Vandana. Okay, could therefore potentially benefit families in many ways. Well done, well done, well done, well done. And could in the long run. That's good, Patricia. In the long run, potentially benefit. Well done, Patricia. Previous experiments with adults by researchers had that asking the right questions can help people feel closer to each other. Well done, Vandana. No thanking me, thank your brain. Behavioural researchers, I love it. The only word I got, Patricia, was in the long run. In the long run was the only one I got from you. It's the only one between there and Paramount. Various researchers had found, had proven, says Valentine, the same researchers nurture, foster, create, had confirmed or proved. Various and shown, says Etienne. Welcome, Etienne Beaumont. Had corroborated. Had evidence. Good word, Daily Tech. Well done. By other. Bingo. Well done, Oksana. That's another ice cream for you. Previous experiments with adults by other researchers had proved, by human researchers, says Sid, had suggested, with some researchers, evidence. Evidence is good, Daily Tech. Okay, previous experiments with adults by other researchers had suggested that asking the right questions can help people feel closer to each other. Experience, says Vandana. So, known as the Fast Friends procedure, this process, global attention, far beyond research departments some years ago, after a journalist, the questions on a romantic date. Drew global attention. Good, Valentine. Attracted, says Maurits. Drew, says Julia. Attracted, says Alex. Hi, Alex. Became. Not quite, Daily Tech. Attracted, says Patricia. Drew, says Oksana. Called global attention, says Marco. Drew, says Vandana. Asked the same questions. Tested the same questions. That looks pretty good. Become asked. Asked the same question. So, became global. Okay, asked for the second one. Yes, definitely, Daily Tech. Asked for Valentine. Challenged the questions. Asked, says Julia. Elucidated. Good morning, Glenn. Great to have you, Glenn Brunk. Gained attention. Hi, Karen. Lovely to see you. Tried the same questions. That looks good to me, Valentine. Gained and asked. This process gained global attention. Good, Etienne. And asked the same questions. Brought global attention. Definitely, Oksana. Brought would work. Brought would work. Called global. Revealing the questions on a romantic date. Not quite, Marco. Posed the questions. Posed is good, Vandana. The process attracted, says Sid. Put the questions. Yeah, put would work. On a romantic date. So here we go. Gained global attention. So gained. Well done, those of you with gained. And tested. Tested. There was definitely more than one. I think somebody definitely used test. Drew global attention. Brought attention. Brought to attention. Brought to what? I agree, Alex. Garnered. I like the garnered, definitely. Hi, TL Pent. Lovely to see you. Tested. Tested the questions on a romantic date. Yes, you did, didn't you, Oksana? Yes. While commuting home. Do your best, Karen. Okay. In its classic format, the fast friends procedure, pairs of adults asking each other profound, thought-provoking personal questions as challenge. Would challenge work? Such as, says Alex. Such as, says Valentine. Features, says Vitaly for the first one. Challenge. I don't think challenged would work in that case, Patricia. Such as for Alex and Valentine. Features for Vitaly. Involves for the first one from White Stripes. Such as, says White Stripes and Mauli. Such as for Julia. Assembled. Yes, assembled would do. Sets, pairs of adults asking. Okay, sets would do. Sees them asking. That sees as well. Such as, says Patricia. Comprises, says Karen. That's good. Requires, says Valentine. Tested pairs. Tested would work as well, Glenn. Has for the first one. Yes, Vitaly. Has or gets. I quite agree. Those are two good words. Involves, yes. Requires, such as. That's good, Valentine. Coupled pairs of adults, such as, says Sid. Okay, I'll try, Patricia. Yeah, you're talking about challenges global attention. Challenges the question, no. Gets them to ask, definitely. So in its classic format, the fast friends procedure uses, involves, well done, Julia. I can see Julia's involves there. Well done, Julia. And White Stripes as well. Involves pairs of adults. And such as gets them to ask each other. Okay, and let me just put that in place. Such as. Mutual translation. Okay, if a ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything, what would you want to know? Easy double ice cream. Absolutely, White Stripes. Crystal ball, says Alex. Crystal, says Valentine. Crystal ball for Julia. Glass ball. We normally say a crystal ball, Daily Tech. Anything whatsoever. Good word, Valentine. Crystal. Else, says Valentine. Orchestrates pairs of adults. Orchestrates would definitely work, Patricia. Crystal ball, says Etienne. Crystal, says Vandana. Ow, ow. Else, crystal and else, says Marco. I think you've just got a double ice cream there, Marco. Anything else, says Julia. Anything at all, says Oksana. Anything else, says Daily Tech. Crystal ball, anything significant for Karen. Anything else for Alex. Anything at all, says Etienne. A magic ball, says Glenn. Smash the like for Julia, yes. Anything similar. Anything... Mate, no. Crystal ball, says Patricia, definitely. Anything. Mate. No, the mate doesn't work there, unfortunately, Glenn. He blue. Okay. Ow, ow. At ow. At all. Anything at all. Yes. Anything similar. So, Sid says ball and else. Or anything crucial. Ha, good. Okay. So, a crystal ball or anything else. And there's definitely a double ice cream for Marco. And I think everyone, most of you got this one. So, well done, Marco. Okay, so if a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else. Anything fundamental, anything relevant. Fundamental, definitely, Patricia, definitely. This encourages the participants to more about their feelings, which can a sense of connection. So we got 3 here. To learn more about. Learn more, says Julia. Inquire more. Their personal feelings can engender, I like engender for the last one. Anything basic for the previous, yes. Their true feelings, sounds good for Julia. To tell their real feelings, create. To tell more about their real feelings and create, that looks good. To share is a good word from Maurice. Their true feelings, says Vitali. Their own feelings, says Maurice. To reveal more. Can create, says Sid. To think more about their true feelings, which can foster, says Thunderaxe. To care more, to reflect more about their subconscious feelings, which can foster, good Karen. Foster a sense of connection, says Vandana. Can bring, says Valentine, that's good. Experience more about their, can pry, but it's pry into. Pry more, to pry into their suppressed feelings, which can foster their innermost feelings. I think that's an ice cream, Patricia. Ice cream for innermost. Discover their hidden feelings and innermost. Yes, MKRC. Learn more about their own feelings, which can suggest, that's pretty good, Marco, can foster a sense of their clandestine feelings, says Manisco. Learn more about their true feelings and foster. Awesome, innermost is awesome. Innermost is the ice cream in their innermost feelings. Contemplate more. Their intimate feelings. Open up. I like open up more about. Create a sense. Reflex. Can generate more, says Etienne. Can reveal more about their innermost feelings, which can foster a sense of connection. So ice cream for Patricia and ice creams for Foster. I think Vitali started with Foster. I'm not sure who began with it. I think maybe it was Vitali. Engender. Foster was Thunderaxe. Thunderaxe 9K started with Foster. So well done, Thunderaxe. Investigate more about intimate feelings. Yeah, White Stripes, you got Foster, definitely. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester. Okay. Nope. I think it was Thunderaxe. It was just one comment by Thunderaxe, and I think he's disappeared. In adults, the has been successfully in many contexts. In adults, yes, you finally came up with reveal. Yes, you did that, Bandana. Well done. To reveal more about. The scheme has been successfully confirmed. That's the idea, the notion. The experiment has been successfully conducted. The pattern, the inquiry, the experiment. The technique has been successfully applied, proven, says Oksana. Investigated, successfully demonstrated, says Etienne. Has been successfully proved. I think you probably got the first one. I'm not so sure about the conducted, reciprocated. The objective has been successfully achieved. Corroborated is a very good word, Vitali. The notion has been proved. I think the corroboration idea is the best so far. Replicated. The procedure has been successfully replicated. I wanted to use the word repeated, but replicated. So the procedure has been successfully, the evidence has been successfully found. Yes, Karen. Sense of belonging established. The experiment. But would it for the bond between parents and children? This one's easy. But would it for the bond between parents and children? That's it, Valentine. Well done, Valentine. Yes, well done. I like that do as well from White Stripes. Work, says Oksana. Yes, but notice, Karen, you try to repeat or replicate an experiment and get the same results. And that's very important in science, Karen. Would it suffice? Would it work? Would it work? So suffice for White Stripes, work for Vitaly and Alex and Julia. Would it enhance, but no for, Glenn? Would it enhance the bond? Would it function? Yes. Would it endure for the bond? I might use perdure there. Would it intrude? Intrude doesn't work, MKC. Would it work? It's definitely a work. Okay, would it work for the bond between parents and children? Replication crisis moment. Welcome, RH. Great to have you. Would it endure for the bond? Endure, yes. Okay. And Eddie Brummelman tested this by the question in the classic Fast Friends procedure to make them for children aged 8 to 13 and their parents. Serve for. To make them serve for. You can do better, Karen. Would it be sustainable? By setting, by designing. I like designing. Adapting. Bingo, White Stripes. To make them amenable. Amenable's good. Modifying, good, Alex. To make them suitable, says Alex. Suitable, says White Stripes. Modifying and suitable, that's very good, Alex. By changing them. Suitable, says Karen for number 2. Helpful for. Appropriate for, yes. Appropriate or suitable. By answering, by tackling. Understandable, yes. Suitable, I like. By tweaking the questions. Tweaking is a great word. It works very... Adapting is even better than modifying. Absolutely, Alex. And that's the difference between a good answer and an ice cream. Well done, Alex. That's very funny what you've just said. Altering, adapting, says Etienne. Conceivable. Appropriate, says Karen. Appropriate, says Etienne. Applicable. Desirable for. So, adapting and suitable. Well done, all of you. By making them more age appropriate. Age appropriate is very good. Applicable is good, Karen. By adapting them, adapting the questions, by adjusting them to make them more suitable for these children. And then they got the parents and children with the parents asking the kids questions such as modulating very definitely. Then they got the children and the parents and children together. Yes. By tailoring. Tailoring's quite nice, Patricia. So, got the parents and children. So, grammar, Karen. Your answer is the best answer so far. But the grammar is horrible, Karen. Interacting is good, Patricia. Swapping. Talking. Yes, Vandana. Synonym for talking. Then they got the parents and children talking. Engaged. Yes, Roxana, definitely. So best answer so far is Vandana's talking. Engaging. Talking for Vitali and Etienne. Chatting. Valentine. Yes, chatting, Vitali. Conversing. Communicating. Dialoguing. Conversing. Chatting. They got the kids and the parents and the children chatting. Communicating is perfectly good, Patricia. Conversing for Etienne. Got them chatting, absolutely. With asking the kids questions such as... Okay. This one's easy. If you could travel in the world, which country would you like to visit and why? Sherwin, lovely to see you. Anywhere, says Oksana. Anywhere for Vitali. Anywhere for Valentine. Prattling and chatting. Anywhere for Karen. Anywhere for Etienne. AW. Anywhere for Julia, anywhere for Vandana, anywhere for Patricia. I better go and get a box of ice creams because anywhere for Daily Tech, because that's about 10 right answers. Mogadishu, says White Stripes. Okay, if you could travel anywhere, if you could travel safely in the world, which country would you visit? So you can't travel safely in the US, at least, Glenn, at any destination. Any road, definitely. Some place. Epstein Island. What is the thing that you have ever experienced? I think Andy Pandy wishes he could run away to Epstein Island. The most fascinating, good word, Daily Tech. The scariest. China. But China's incredibly modern. The worst thing, says Oksana. The most fascinating. The saddest thing. The most satisfying. Most fascinating. The weirdest, says Etienne. The worst, says Julia. The happiest, says White Stripes. The scariest, says Masson HR. The most exciting, says Vandana. Pyongyang. Pyongyang could be interesting. Sentinel Island. Okay, the strangest. What's the strangest thing you have ever experienced? What is the last time you felt like that? Yeah, that's a good question. White Stripes, you speak Chinese? And then we got the question Mandarin or Cantonese. Okay. Giza, says Glenbrook. Okay, the children then took a simple questionnaire to how loved and supported they felt before and after they had the questions with their parents. The sonderist. That's a good word, Glenn. To assess. I like assess, White Stripes. They had discussed the questions with their parents. To describe. Discussed, says Karen. Assess, says Oksana. To compare, says Alex. Evaluate. They had shared the questions, says Karen. To demonstrate, says Valentine. To preview, says Glenn. After they had exchanged the questions with their parents, maybe. To describe, they had discussed. Describe and discussed from Julia. I think you mean assess, Marco. To gauge, good word, Etienne. To answer how loved and supported they feel. That would definitely work, Vitaly. Okay, here we go. To rate. After they had discussed the questions. So we got several ice creams for discussed. Had dialogued the question, says Sherwin. Okay, to get to rate. Yeah, give me a rating. Compare and contrast. Oh no, not another one. Describe after they had shaped the questions. The country that is now Zimbabwe. You mean Rhodesia? The discussions took just 9 minutes, but the children's ratings were far higher, says Vitaly. Much higher, says Valentin. Much higher, says Daily Tech. Much higher, says Oksana. At the end of the experiment, that the procedure does increase their feeling of being loved. Proving that, good. Showing that, says Valentin. Meaning that. Demonstrably higher. Proving that. I like the demonstrably higher. Much higher, considerably higher, says Etienne. Confirming that from Oksana. Implying that from Karen. Good. I did verbally, but not written. And it's very difficult for them to beat what I'm saying. Considerably higher, significantly higher. Evaluate quite considerably, noticeably, implying that. I like the implying that. Okay, I think we're probably done because I think this is probably the last question. So here we go. Greatly and stating, says Sherwin. Greatly higher, significantly higher, suggesting. Cecil Rhodes would be very upset, White Stripes. Was significantly higher, suggesting, showing that. Ah, and yes, there is one more. Confirming that. It wasn't just the chance to have a chat as that made the difference. No problem, P. As such. Well done, Oksana. Well done, Oksana. That one is lateral thinking. I'm going to give that one to you as it is. As such, says Oksana. As such. Well done, Alex. It wasn't just the chance to have a chat as such that made the difference. As such, as demonstrated, that made the difference. Small talk, such as parents asking the children about the children's favourite ice cream or movie, for example, was less to produce a change. Small talk, such as the parents asking about the children's favourite ice cream or movie, for example, was less to produce a change. Likely, well done, Marco. Was less likely, that's an ice cream for Marco. Was less prone to produce. And produce impactful conversation. Notice this A change. Notice this A. Much a change. Enticed. Interaction. So less likely, definitely. Such a change, yes, White Stripes. Less likely, that's it, Julia. Well done, Julia. less likely to produce such a change. We've had several suches there. Such a change. Well done, Vitali. Well done, Julia. Well done, all of you. Such a change. And that really is much of a change. So that's enough for today. Yeah. Well done, Etienne. Less likely to produce such a change. So, an ice cream for Marco. Well done, Marco. You got another ice cream. I count at least 3 for you today. You're doing better. You're getting there. So, next stream is on Tuesday. On Tuesday, the 24th and 26th. Thank you, Oksana. It's okay, Karen. Don't worry about it. On Tuesday, 26th of February. Then Thursday, 28th February. Is that correct? No. 24th and 26th. That's better. Tuesday 24th and Thursday 26th. Tuesday 24th of February at 10 a.m. UK time. Thursday the 26th February at 3:30 p.m. UK time. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Vandana. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Etienne. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Every Saturday we do the same, Etienne. Thank you, Glenn, for coming. Thank you, Patito Garcia. Hombre. Thank you to Valentin and Vandana. Thank you to Manisco. Have to stuff yourself with ice creams now, Oksana. Such as such a change. Yes, Vandana. There were lots of suches right there at the end. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Marco. So thank you to Alex and Sid and Daily Tech. And thank you to Etienne and Glenn and Julia and Karen. Thank you to Cool Ducks and Manisco and Marco and Oksana. Thank you to Patito Garcia and Patricia and Valentin and White Stripes and Vandana and to Vitali. Thank you all for coming. It's been great. Thank you. It's Bobby McBobster. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Sherwin. Great to see you. Oh, and thank you to Upshot for the donation or the memberships. You need 3 bottles of martini. Okay, well, one dry, one sweet, and one red. Okay, so take care, all of you. It's been great to see you. It's been a lot of fun. Have a great weekend, all of you, and enjoy.